With You. My name is Rebecca. I'm known on Instagram and Ravelry as Evil Twin 2. You can find our group on Ravelry under I'll Knit With You. You can find show notes at illknitwithyou.blogspot.com, or you can email me at illknitwithyou@gmail.com. How have you guys been? It has been a while since I have gotten to podcast. If you are new to this show, welcome. This is going to be kind of a long episode. I've been gone on a trip. And if you are a returning viewer, then you already know that. And you're awesome and you're beautiful. And all the new people are too. Don't get me wrong. So the last episode I gave you guys was incredibly short. I think it was under 10 minutes. I don't remember right now. So I'll be going back and talking about my brother's wedding a little bit and filling you in on a little bit more stuff that I didn't have time for last week because it was crazy. But first, let's get to our new Franz. We have Lollipop 1956, who is Joan from New York. We have Annette At, who is Annetta from Kentucky. We have Emma the Band Geek, who is Emma from Kentucky. So 2 people from Kentucky. I wonder if they're friends. Maybe not. I don't know. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you would like for me to say your name on the podcast, and I would love to say your name on the podcast, then come introduce yourself in the introduction thread if you haven't yet. In the group. It's a thread. It's a thing. No big deal. So yeah, I am definitely going to be telling you guys about my trip, but it kind of ties into my mustache segment. What? So I'm going to wait till then and go through it with you. It'll be pretty awesome. But first off, let's get to blobbins. On my blobbins this week, I have this lovely specimen from Hello Pearl. It is called, it's one of her Easter bats. I'm in the middle of spinning it. This is my first half of it here. So I got it. It's like on this thing still, so I can just spin it around and show you because I didn't want to take it all apart. It is an art bat. It is crazy, and it's been really, really fun to spin. I've been trying to keep it really, really thin, and I've not been doing too bad of a job. This is about how thin that is. And the reason for that is because my mom purchased it for me to make something for someone else out of it. In order to knit it, I need it to be, you know, a length worth knitting. That would be nice. So that is going really well. The full bat, I will show you. Give me just a couple seconds here. It's kind of huge and wild. It's got lots of sparkly stuff in it. It's very reminiscent of Easter. I think it's called Egg Hunt is the name of the bat. I was trying to think of it earlier. But it is fantastic. I have gotten a lot of Hello Pearl's art bats through the Fat Fiber box. And to me, Hello Pearl has been like that boy in class that you have a crush on, but you just can't bring yourself to talk to because he's so darn cute. And you're a little shy about it. I've wanted one of her bats forever, and it feels like that. Like, I go and I look at the shop, but I can't pick. You know, I'm too shy to order. And so, I will tell you where I got this at a little bit later. Here it's all bundled up. But I am thrilled to have it, and it's been awesome to spin. I'm also still slowly making my way through, my Nunco Chromatops, which are basically a rainbow of little tiny pieces. I started with like a really dark purple, and then 2 different colors of dark purple, and then a red, and now this orangey yellow color. And then next, I will have this yellow color, and it will go to then green, and teal, and blue, and then a purpley purple. The first one was more of a maroony purple, so it's been a lot of fun. It's going really slow. I'm just not enjoying the bottom whorl as much as I was when I got it. I think it's because I got so used to drop spindles that, like, this doesn't feel right. I feel like it should work better, and it doesn't work as well. I might transfer back over to a drop spindle. I don't know. I need to work with this a little bit more, but I just don't want to. So I don't do it as often. It's like knitting with acrylic. It's just not as fun. So maybe I'll get back into it and find it lovely again, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The fiber itself is fantastic. It's just the tool I'm working with, for whatever reason, is just not singing to me anymore, and I'm just not loving it. I only have one work in progress this week. It is the Tiger Eyes lace scarf. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's very reminiscent of the back of the guinea cardigan that I'm making, and it's almost the same exact pattern, I'm not gonna lie. So here it is. It's a little wadded up because I have it in a knitting bag, so it's not as beautiful and unfolding as I want it to be, but it still looks amazing. The pattern, I'm not saying that I'm that amazing of a knitter, but I really, really, really enjoy this pattern. I've made another scarf similar to this, but with fingering weight, and this is worsted to Aran weight. It's just some cheap acrylic that I have in one of those 1-pound balls you can buy. But my friend requested this pattern. I previously have made her a hat that matches, not pattern-wise, just color-wise. It is this hat right here. So you can see, same yarn, totally different pattern. It's what she asked, so that's what I'm making her. But I'm really pleased with how it's going and just trucking right along. It's going really well. I told her that I don't have a lot of this yarn left, and she said that's fine. She wouldn't mind if it was a really short scarf, and this is all the yarn I have left. It's not very big. So we'll see how much longer this scarf is. It's just going to be what it is. So yeah, that's going awesome. Now, to finished objects. Brace yourself, people, because there's a lot of stuff you're about to see. First off, the knitting finished objects. Oh, that's right. I said it. I thought I was going to knit a ton on the trip. In fact, I packed... Oh, this is also a finished object. I forgot about that. I finished this market bag that I was making. It's huge and fantastic. It's full of stuff right now. I actually did the top part of it out of some hand spun that I had that kind of matched, because this is an acrylic yarn I was using the rest of it up. So it's great. I'm going to make it again. It's called the Girlfriend Bag. There's a whole great story that goes with that. But since I finished it right before my trip, I packed it full of yarn thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to be on this 9-day trip. I'm going to have so much time to knit. And I definitely won't get car sick because I've never gotten car sick before. Guess what? Most of this yarn is still in cakes. There is just tons of it in here, and I have to go put it back on my yarn wall, so that's fun. But my Girlfriend Bag finished and fantastic. Things that I actually did finish knitting-wise. I finished this great little orange hex puff. It's the same yarn that I used for my navy Mystic spiral socks. I couldn't think of the right word for a second there. And I'll just keep making hex puffs out of this till I use the rest of it up. That's my little hex puff. I have been working out of the 60 more quick baby knits because we've got some babies coming up in the family, and I've got a couple of friends who are also pregnant, so babies for everyone. Not me. Babies for all of them, how about that? And so I've been making clothes for them. Now, I'm under the thinking that if you're going to knit a baby clothes, don't make it newborn size, because not all babies come out newborn size. And then if you make it a little bit bigger, they have time to grow into it, they have time to grow out of it, and they have time in between where they can wear it, fitting a little big, fitting a little tight, you know, and all the good stuff. So I made these adorable little shorts, and this is about 1-year-old size. So plenty of diaper room back here. But, and they have a ruffled bottom, which is very cute and fun. I love it. So I had a lot of fun making these. And then there is a matching top that goes with them. Now, I have buttons for this, but I'm not going to show them to you because they're clear, so they're really hard to see. When I get the buttons put on, I will show this to you again. Because it's kind of hard to hold it all together as it is. So the back crosses like this. And in the picture, I thought, oh, yay, less knitting. No, it's 2 full pieces. So it's almost like I knit the back twice, which is really fun. But it's really, really, really cute. And that way it can be as wide or not as wide as they want. or as they want, as it wears, you know. And this part will go, these straps go on top, and they fold over, and there'll be buttons here, and there's a cute little front. I have a couple of ends to weave in and buttons to put on, but it turned out really, really well. I didn't have any major problems with it, no major unravelry, please, Rebecca. But I think it looks really cute. I recommend going around all the edges and doing like a crochet, single crochet, but I think my edges are rounded off enough that it's not going to make much of a difference. And it's baby clothes. So this is made out of some Knit Picks acrylic in the Brava. There's a purple color and a pink color. I think one of them's called Coral and one of them's called Plum or something. It's all on my projects page. I'm very thorough with that stuff. So that are my knitting finished objects. And now I have some spinning finished objects. And you might be saying, Rebecca, you were on vacation. Did you take your spinning wheel? No, I did not. So knitting in the car was okay. And I actually listened to the entire book of Outlander on the vacation. Like, it's done, it's finished. That's a 33-hour book. I bought the next one already because there's a preview at the end of the first one for the next one, and I was listening to it and going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And so, yeah, that's like another 39 hours of my life right there. But it'll work out. I knit so much in the car, and like those baby clothes took a really long time. I don't know why I thought they were going to be such a quick project. But I knit like half a sock in a night, so I thought, this is nothing. They took forever. And so by the time I was done, I wasn't really feeling like knitting much anymore, and I was kind of homesick and a little car weary. So by the time I got home, I was ready to spin. I just needed to get away from needles for a little while. I haven't really knit since I've been home, except for on the scarf. The scarf was the project that I picked up after I knit the baby clothes. So I did knit some more in the car after that, I guess. But I finally finished my Rin & Ollie Hydra Mist. It is awesome. I've been like staring at it every day. So if you don't remember, it came with 2 bats. One of the bats was completely gray, and the other bat was 3 different colors. It went from purple to red, as you can see here. And then you apply those 2 together. So it kind of mutes down the other colors a little bit, but not so much that you're missing out on them. I got over 300 yards with this. I think it's like 310 or something. Don't quite remember. Let me put this back up here. I'm so bad at winding skeins with my hands. So here it is a little closer up. The red definitely looks really, really muted, and the purple almost blends with it. But that teal is such a pop of teal that it's crazy awesome. And then the gray had little flecks and pops, you can see one right here, of pinks and blues and kind of a little tiny bit art batish, but not near as much as the Hello Pearl stuff. But I think it turned out really, really great, and I really love it. I'm a big fan of how this turned out. The next thing I finished, so when I was plying, since you're supposed to mix the gray and the purple, or the gray and the multicolored one and ply those together, I ended up having a ton of leftover purple, so I wound it onto my ever so classy cardboard bobbins that I have a multitude of. Toilet rolls. The paper rolls. They are what they are, and they're fantastic is what they are. But here's just how the purple looks by itself. It's got some darker bits and some lighter bits, and you kind of lose that with all the gray. But I had seen where someone had taken all of their leftover plying bits like this, and they kept winding them all together, and then they eventually made a 2-ply yarn out of them, and it was awesome, and it was kind of like a spinning memory blanket, or a spinning memory yarn, you know what I mean? So I thought that idea was really clever and a great way to use up scraps, because I always try to work them back then, but with this one, that's not really something you can do. So I'm thrilled how it turned out. I love having a little bit extra to play with, and it's fantastic. The next one I finished was the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes that I bought in the Aurora Heather colorway. It's a very dark green. It's kind of hard to see. My mom, in our adventures, had found some navy Firestar or Angelina. I'll tell you more in a second about that. Teal, not navy, sorry. And so I worked just a little bit in here and there into this green because it's so incredibly dark. I wanted to give it just a little bit of something extra. So here it is, all stretched out. And you can see little pops of the Firestar in here every once in a while. Just gives it a little bit of extra shimmer and brings a little bit of light into it. This green that you're seeing right now is a little bit lighter than what it is, because it's so very dark. I had never used the Knit Picks wool of the Andes or any of their roving before, but I was really pleasantly surprised. This stuff spun up so well and so quick and so even. Now this is a 3-ply, and it's not a chain 3-ply. It's my first honest to goodness 3-ply, like 3 different sections of yarn plied together all at once. And you can see this piece hanging down here. It turned out really rounded and really fantastic. It's the first time I've done that many plies ever. And the reason I'm doing it is because I have an owl for the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup. And I'm spinning 4 different things. And the first one is a 2-ply, which was my Rin and Ollie that you saw a minute ago. My second one is a 3-ply. My third and fourth are both 4-plies, but the second one will be harder 4-ply because you, it's called a cable ply, where you take a 2-ply and ply it together, and a second 2-ply and ply it together, and then you ply those 2-plies together in the opposite direction, so in the same way that you spun them. So if you did clockwise and then counterclockwise for 2-plies, you would do then clockwise again for the finished 4-ply. I hear it makes really good sock yarn, so we'll see how that turns out. But this is fantastic. This I got just over 100 yards, I think 120 yards with this one. So not near as long, and the first one was 4.5 ounces and this one was 4 ounces. So I was shocked that much more would give me that much more yardage because this isn't much thicker than that. But that's just how it worked out. I mean, that just is what it is. So on my spinning wheel, my Lazy Kate only has 2 pegs. And there are a million pictures of Lazy Kates if you want to see what they look like. But it looks a lot like this. And to do a 3-ply, I needed to have something else holding my 3rd ply and be able to spin. I didn't really want it rolling around my floor. So you saw my fantastic toilet paper bobbin before. This is my crazy cheap Lazy Kate. This basket was an Easter basket I got one year because my mom wanted us to get baskets we could reuse. These are old tapestry needles that I bought when I thought I needed a bunch of tapestry needles and long pointiness. Like, look how long this is, so long. And these are used rolls of toilet paper. The one in there is a spare one I have that just floats around. So you put it on here, and then as you spin, these tumble around and can spin with you so that it doesn't have any tension built up on it, but you know what? Your 3rd ply isn't rolling around the floor either. So it's a good mix of redneck, makeshift Lazy Kate, and getting stuff done. I left my house Friday night to get to my parents' house so we could leave the next day, and we did, and we took off, and we drove, and we drove, and we drove. There was a lot of driving. And whenever we go on a trip, we always take pictures with the state signs because it kind of helps you mark where you've been. And it's a really nice way to look at everything like that. We had dinners at this place called Smokies. I think it's in Texas. It was a really good barbecue. We use the Food Network app to help us find places to eat. We had a lot of GPS issues because my dad decided right before we needed to leave that he wanted me to update his GPS, which totally makes sense, except for the fact that there wasn't enough room on the GPS to update the GPS, but it tried to anyway. So in doing so, it erased a lot of stuff off the GPS, and it was basically worthless the entire first day. My parents had a map in the car. They have a U.S. map with all the different states and all their highways. They do a lot of navigation by that anyway, but to not have a GPS was kind of awful. because they use it for stuff like find food on our route, which you can't really do with an iPhone as well. But it was kind of, it made it a lot more difficult of a travel, but it was still a lot of fun. The next day we went to a botanical garden and I took some video for you guys. It felt prehistoric in one of the greenhouses. It was just so big. Like, all the plants were massive and a little scary. And we had dinner at this very authentic Mexican restaurant in Santa Fe. We kept seeing these chilies hanging everywhere, which were really, really, really cool. And the next day we got time to look around Santa Fe. And I wanted to buy yarn for my trip from about every place that I could find a yarn shop in. And with the internet and an iPhone, please, it was going to happen. So the first place I went was called Yarn and Coffee in Santa Fe. It's on 1836 Cerrillos Road. It was a little hard to find. But when we eventually got there, I ended up picking up this fantastic little thing of yarn. It is tie-dye socks. It is 436 yards. And there's no colorway listed on here besides numbers. It's 1364. So I'm really excited about this and my first yarn. This kind of reminded me of Santa Fe because there's a lot of those brown colors and then pops of red with the chilies everywhere. So it was really fun and a great way to kind of commemorate Santa Fe. We also ate downtown and we visited these really amazing chapels. One of them had this staircase that has a really mysterious story around it. This guy came in and built it and didn't stay long enough to get payment, and he used like some really, really basic tools. And it's unsupported, like there's no beams to the side. They added them later so it wouldn't fall down, and they have pictures of people like standing on every single inch of this all at once, and it doesn't break. It's perfect. And so it's like this feet of God in this church. It's really amazing. That night we left and we went to Durango. We stayed in the middle of nowhere in Durango in this schoolhouse that had been kind of converted into this one-room place to stay that my mom had found someone to rent it from online through like hotels.com or something like that. It was really crazy. But here you can see it. It's way off in the distance, but there it is. That morning, the next morning on Tuesday, we got up very, very early. We took the train up to Silverton. It's like a thing that you do in Durango if you're visiting. And it was a really cool train ride. It took you on stuff that you would never be able to drive or even want to drive. Silverton itself is really tiny and there's not a lot of exciting stuff going on there. But a lot of places to eat and a lot of places to buy a quick souvenir. We had a 30-minute turnaround. You can stay longer in the town, but we decided to take a bus back so we'd have more of the day to spend in Durango and look around. So when we got back to Durango, I found a yarn shop. It is called, my bag is really beat up because this was in the car and I used it for a lot of things. This is called, we went to a place called Yarn Durango, and it was fantastic. It was my second favorite yarn store on the whole trip. I bought this. It is some Cascade Yarn Sunseeker. It is color 103, and it is only 237 yards. Not a lot of yardage, but look, it sparkles. I was really excited about that. I don't have any sparkly yarn until now, so yay. While we were in there, my mom kind of realized, oh, if I buy my daughter yarn, she could make me stuff with it. And we're going to be stopping at all these places anyway, so I might as well indulge her. So my mom learned how to be a wool pig. Bless her heart. So she bought me this and this. And together they're going to make a scarf. This one over here is Barocco Captiva. It's just 98 yards, and it's really soft and very shiny. The people recommended me not to wind it into cake, but to wind it around something else because it's so slick that the center of the cake would just come right out and yarn barf everywhere. This is Gina by the Plymouth Yarn Company. It looks a lot like Noro. It's not Noro. It's such cheater yarn. It's 109 yards. So together they're about 200 yards. And we'll see how far that gets. We've got more stuff we can work with, but I'll show you that in a second. I also bought this teeny tiny little skein. It's by Nanco. It's a Record Mini. And I thought, hexabuffs, of course. And then I bought a little tiny thing of silk for my mom so that when I make her scarf, she can use it. And silk's kind of awesome, and non-knitters don't really know about it. Not even all knitters know about it. If you don't know what it is, silk is something that you can put in like a tub of water. I use a really big mixing bowl. And then you can put stuff in there like your sweaters or your scarves or your socks, stuff that needs to be hand washed. This stuff doesn't have to be rinsed. You just let it soak and then you dump the water out and you let your object dry and it's done. It's really great for bras. I'm not gonna lie. So that is what I got from Yarn Durango. We also looked downtown a lot. It's very, very cute down there. So Wednesday was probably our busiest days. We left Durango pretty early and we went to Mesa Verde, which has all these little things, little homes that people built into the mountains forever ago that they keep finding and restoring, and it's really cool. We also went to Four Corners, which I've always wanted to get to and I've not gotten to go to yet because the first time we went it was closed for construction. And of course I had a knit on the Four Corners because why wouldn't you? It was awesome. We also went to Monument Valley, which is stereotypical Old West because so many movies were filmed near and around Monument Valley. And so when you think of the Old West, that might be what you think of, even though that's not what you see when you get there. Because it's really just a specific part of the U.S. That night, we drove all the way to Moab, and we stayed there overnight. I think Moab is in Utah. The next morning, we got up and we went to have some breakfast, and also check out a yarn shop before we left town. So this is the yarn shop where my mom embraced her new wool pig fondness. She bought this, which is 4 ounces of 50/50 CVM in merino. Undyed gray, very beautiful. My mom bought this and a matching-ish color. She wants scarves out of each one for herself and one for my grandma, so she bought 2 of each one. What's another one? Ta-da! These are called Manos Wool Classics, and they are actually hand spun in Peru. Very cool. And that's kind of one of those things where they have local people in Peru craft with them, and they sell them to people here in America. And the workers in Peru get a portion of that money, so they can sustain themselves. I also got this, which is, I actually braided this up myself to show Mom how braided fiber works, because she was kind of having trouble getting her mind around that different forms of fiber were all still fiber, and she didn't really understand how that worked. Like, she would look at this and go, yarn? And I say, fiber, you know, stuff that you spin with and not stuff that you knit with quite yet. It's got to go through a little bit more process. So, it's actually a really long braid, so I'll double it up here so you can see it better. But it kind of reminds me of Frozen a little bit. But in all reality, it's called American Diner, and it's by Greenwood Fiberworks. She's on .etsy.com. So this is 40 ounces of 50% merino, 50% tencel. And it's awesome and gorgeous. And by the same company, she has these little things called pigtails, and you know how I love little tiny bits of fiber. This one is called Retro Girl, and it's between 0.4 and 0.6 ounces, and it is Polworth wool. Very cute, very lovely. So after Moab, we went to Arches, which was by far my favorite thing that we did. Arches are these naturally formed arches in these rocks, and you can hike to a lot of them, and over time some of them will fall down and new ones will form. So it's like this park is always evolving, and you can go once and it'll be completely different if you go again 10 years later. We also saw the Rocky Mountains by night, but don't worry, we also saw them the next morning. My mom loves the Rocky Mountains. So we went to the Rocky Mountain National Park and checked out all of that, and now we're at Friday. I know the week has flown by. And we just booked it towards Colfax, Iowa, which is where the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival was. And then we had to get up early and drive a few more miles to get to the Iowa Sheep and Wool. So the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival was amazing. There were so many cool vendors, and I wish I had $3,000 to get everything that I wanted. But the way it worked out, my parents had actually said, hey, for your birthday, we're just going to give you money to buy stuff at Iowa Sheep and Wool. Okay, that works for me. I'm kind of bad at budgeting and saving money for stuff like that. So it worked out great. Plus, my mom decided about halfway through that she needed a bunch of stuff for me to spin because she wanted it in a form of something else. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I also got a bunch of free stuff because my mom decided I needed it. So it works out. The first bat I showed you when I was spinning earlier is actually a Hello Pearl bat that my mom bought me for my cousin who wasn't born yet. So baby clothes. But I got several more Hello Pearl bats. And the crazy thing is the last thing I bought, so I don't know why I'm showing it to you first, except for the fact that they're glorious. She ties them with these great ribbons, and then her tag is on here, and it's super easy to read. So this one is 4.4 ounces. It has BFL, Coopworth, Border Luster, Milk Fiber, Rayon, Tencel, Banana Silk Tangles, and Angelina. It is fantastic. This is the one that I picked out. This is the other one my mom picked out. This one is called, that's what this one was called? Raspberry Mint Fiber Art Bat. This one is called Hot Air Balloon Ride. And I totally think that makes sense. Look at it. Kind of looks like a hot air balloon. I guess I could untie these and show them to you. I don't know why I didn't. I'm just being lazy. So this is the Raspberry Mint. Totally different on the inside, a lot of pink. But you can also see all the teal fibers up here that look glorious. So I'm pumped about spinning that one. Well, I'm pumped about spinning all of it, but this is the one that I picked out, so I'm a little more pumped about that. So this one is the Hot Air Balloon Ride. And here is a little more unfurled. You can see all the beautiful inside purpliness. And then the outside brights. This has less sparkle in it than some of the other bats I've gotten from her, but that's okay. Sometimes you just need to be a little more chill, but there's still some sparkle. On top of that, my mom picked me up this bag that's 0.5 ounces with a 4-inch staple length of white Angelina to mix in with whatever I wanted to mix it in with. We also stopped by the T&H Fiberworks. She is also on Etsy. And bought 2 skeins of bling lace. My mom bought this one for my grandma. She wants me to knit her a shawl with it by next month because my mom doesn't understand how life works. And I bought this one. It is silver and it also sparkles. There is a shawl that I want in it, and this will be half the yarn that I used. So I still need to pick the other one up, pick it out, buy it, you know, whatever. But now I've got the first one, so I feel like I'm a little closer to it. So this one also has a little bit of shimmer. My mom wanted me to mix in some fibers, some of the Angelina with it, and I tried to explain to her that doesn't really work. But it already has sparkle in it, so maybe she'll just believe me that it's in there when it's knitted. I don't know, we'll see. So these are the 2 that I got from T&H Fiberworks, and they are so soft and lovely. And this one's called London Fog, and I have lost the tag for this one. I took it off because I was trying to show my mom the entire skein, and in that process I've lost it. I bought this yellow beautiful roving from a vendor who did not put her name on her tag, and so I don't know who it was. But I do know that this is 100% merino and yellow and beautiful. I was trying to pick out colors I don't normally pick out. Like gray is not normally what I would go towards. They had this like crazy retro... Oh, talk about this. They had this crazy retro like 80s colors that I was looking at, and I was like, you know what, let's go with gray. You need the gray. Yellow is not necessarily a color that I pick out, but I think it might look really, really cute plied with the Hot Air Balloon Ride. Like, to make it even longer, couldn't you see that? Or would it go better with this to give it like a crazy color? After the Rin and Ollie 2-ply thing, I kind of want to just mix this with something else. Because by itself, it's nothing... I mean, yellow yarn is fantastic. But this is 4 ounces, and this is 4 ounces, and together they could be 8 ounces. Think how far we could get, people. So that's kind of what I'm in the mindset of. This should be this should be friends with something else. And maybe we'll be friends with something else in my stash already. I don't know. But it's pretty awesome braid. This is some natural alpaca I bought from the alpacas at Willow's Brook. I got 4 ounces of it, and I had never felt alpaca roving before, and I'm pretty sure that's why I bought this, because it is incredibly soft. Now, I would love to either spin this up and dye it and then knit with it, or spin this up and knit with it and then dye it afterwards. I want to try something like that for a while, and this may be a good place to start. So, excited to have my first 4 ounces of alpaca. I talked to the woman who owned the alpacas, which was kind of cool, and she was really excited to talk to me too. She was so sweet. And in the same vein, I bought this from the woman who owns the sheep that made it. It is 3.5 ounces of merino dyed wool roving. And she has a woman that does the dyeing for her. She just gives her the fleeces. And she used to do this where she would take the 3 colors and kind of put them all together like this. And she doesn't do it anymore. So the woman was like, if you want one of these, I won't be here next year with them because I'll probably sell it this summer. So this was pretty fantastic to get from her, and I thought it was great. I got a little bit smaller one so I could buy a few more things, and there is a little bit of veg matter in it, but honestly, it's just so squishy and soft, and I love it. There's a little bit different colors than things that I buy, except that it's the same exact colors as the things that I buy. But it's pretty great. So we went to Yarn Geek Fibers. And I actually have some of their roving that I bought in Belleville. And I didn't buy anything there this time, but my mom bought me 10 grams of turquoise and light navy Firestar to put in my stuff. And this is what I put in with my green Aurora Heather knit picks that I spun up. Just put little flecks of this in there, and it was really fun. So I might mix these in with other things. I don't know. I'm getting crazy over here. Learning how to spin for real. I also went to the Sheepish Creations booth, and they had a little basket of partials. And so I bought this partial for Hexie Puffs, obviously. It is just a sock yarn. It's 27 yards. It's superwash merino nylon. Nothing too exciting there. Kind of different colors, but not quite different colors. More foresty colors than I normally buy. I also bought this, which is 207 yards. And it is also a sock weight merino nylon. I don't know if it'll be Hexie Puffs or something bigger. 207 yards you can get pretty far with. So we'll see what this becomes. I don't know. So that's almost all the things that I got. To take a quick side road for a second, I recently won a prize from Fibertown with Emily. And I believe it was for my Mystic Spiral socks for the Autism Awareness Month. And I got this yarn. It is a striped rainbow yarn by the Color Wheel, who have never owned any of her stuff before. So this is pretty exciting. It's 400 yards, 100 gram, tough sock in the, it's 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. The 6 stripes go in order red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. So I'm excited to be a winner. I also won something off the Mustache podcast, so I'm excited for that to get here too. Speaking of prizes, you all might be saying, now Rebecca, you said you'd bring us back something from your travels for this contest that you're having with the weird stories, which if you don't know, go to the group. There is a thread called Share Your Weird Stories, I believe. If you share your weird story, you are entered to win either this fantastic yarn, which is 100% wool fingering weight yarn from Hearthside Fibers. It is 404 yards, 100 grams, and fantastic. I picked this out just for you. Look at these colors. Aren't those awesome? It just makes me think of Happy Happy Outside springtime, although it has a little bit of teal in it every once in a while too. This blue over here, that's just to hold the skein together, so don't get freaked out. You could win this. Or With Buttons has also sent something from her travels called True Tales of the Eastern Shore, and it is a book of weird stories that you could win to read other people's weird stories. It is an autographed copy, as you can see here. She got that autograph for you. There you go. So you could be the lucky winner of either this or this. You just have to tell me your weird story and you can win. Some people's stories are like a sentence long and there's still a good weird story. And a weird story is something like, every time when I come home, the same light is on, even though I know I turned it off when I left. That's not my weird story, I'm just making something up for you. Which Buttons also sent me some taffy in the package with the book. They're called ponytails, and they are awesome. And they are saltwater taffy. I was a little excited that I just wanted to share. With Buttons, thank you very much for both providing a prize and providing some candy. So that is all of my purchases. Yeah, it's a lot, but you have to understand that my mom bought half of it too and expects me to craft things in like the next 2 months, which is kind of ridiculous. But we'll see how it goes. If I hunker down and just work on that shawl, I might be able to get it done. We'll see. I don't know, I'm fidgeting. So last episode, I totally didn't have time to talk about my brother's wedding. I'll just share just a little bit of it since it wasn't really my wedding, but it was still really exciting. I was so nervous before the wedding, and I also had to read something, and so I got a whole paragraph into it, and I totally froze up. But their ceremony was fantastic and wonderful and beautiful. My new sister looked like a Disney princess. The pictures didn't take very long, but they look fantastic. Her photographer did an amazing job. And then the reception was even better. At one point in the night, we even all danced to Frozen's Let It Go. And we did like ballet moves, and it was ridiculous. All of us on the floor like that. A lot of the guys had fun doing the YMCA and just cheesy things. There was no smearing of cake in faces, but we did have a great time. And there was a lot of dancing and laughing, and just, it was very happy. They are doing fantastic, and I'm sure they're glad to have all the stress of that off of them and living in Tennessee now. So hooray for them. It's all really cool. So wherever you are in the world, traveling or not, remember, my name is Rebecca, and I will knit with you. Bye, guys.